Okay, now I'm live here, and I have to figure out how to get you guys over here. So, if I go here, copy this, I'm going to go on completely. Here I am. Damn it. Darn it. I'm not supposed to curse this year. Okay, here I am. Why is this not? My computer is so slow today. That's what one of the problems is. Okay. I am here. Okay, let's put a comment. Can't put a comment. Nice. Okay. You know, did you ever just feel like crying? I never give up. That's my problem, I think. Oh man. I should give up, but I never will give up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see how to do this. My chat box is gone. I don't know what the heck that is. All right. I'm just going to go over here and do it. I hope you guys can find me. Looks like 3 people watching now. I'm here. Don't give up, Barb. Thank you, Barb. It's so frustrating. I can't even get to put the, oh well, you know what? Hi, Barb. Thanks for finding me. If you found me, maybe more people will. So I'm just going to get started. I am just, I don't know. I won't give up because I never do. And now I'm like sweaty. I look so nice. I have makeup on and everything. I looked so nice. So hi, gang. I will let you know down below exactly where the stream starts, okay? Okay. Deep breathing. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I am going to go see if maybe now I can put, this is still, it's still like the chat is still open on this, but I can't seem, yeah. Okay, well, let's hope people find me. That's all I can say. This is just par for the course here, which is, I don't know what it is now. All right. Okay, so, all right, so what I have is alcohol inks, and I think in all the excitement, I seem to have, oh, there it is. Okay. So I have Yupo paper, and Yupo paper is a, it's a synthetic. It's a polypropylene. It's not got any fiber in it at all. And it's perfectly smooth, and it's not heavy, but not cardstock weight either. Now I'm trying to figure out why. Let's try that. I think I might have.
But not cardstock weight either. Now I'm trying to figure out why. Let's try that. I think I might have.
Yes, sorry. I knocked the camera back a little bit. So now we're up front here. So let's see. And everything is reversed here in live stream world. So that is one of the issues that people get confused and thought I was ambidextrous. Okay, so here's what we're going to work on today. Excuse me. Allergies plus frustration equals big sip of tea. All right. So I worked on these the other day, and I wanted to show you, I mean, the big thing here is this is Yupo. This is photo paper, Yupo. Photo paper, maybe. Yupo. Now, I also picked up some glossy cardstock, which is the Tim Holtz. It came in a package. And it might be really nice for stamping, but for the way I want to work on Yupo, I mean, with the alcohol inks, it didn't work great. So, oh yeah, hi Jen. Oh, if anybody wants to shoot out that link somewhere, I'd appreciate it, but don't worry about it. People can catch up with me. They might find it themselves. Okay, so this came in a package of 3. I'm actually looking at my trash here to see if I can find the package. Is this it? Yes, it came in like this, but with silver paper as well. Now, I'm not going to use this today because the inks don't run as much on it. So I'm going to use, I think I'll make a smaller one because we don't have as much time as we did. I was working on this the other day, didn't get very far with that, and I'll probably work on this one too, but I want to start one from scratch so you can see that. Cut this. Let's see, how long is that? Oh, I'll just cut a hunk off. I cut about there we go. Well, you can't even feel this paper cut. If you've never worked on this paper, it is really interesting stuff. And it seems kind of expensive, to me at least, but I get it. I forget what the price is. I just get a big pad and then trim down, or I have actually used the pad full sheet, but if you want to work on smaller pieces, you can. So let me put this away for the moment and put this aside and show you how I'm going to start this. I have here alcohol ink. I can't figure out what color this is because it's all in like Spanish. This is Stream. This is Butterscotch. These are Adirondack colors, and I just love them. This is Raisin. And so I'm just going to pull a couple of these out, and I'm going to start this in a way that gives me very little control, because if you know me and the way I like to make art, it's kind of with a really random element. Like the other day, and by the way, this is the inspiration for this came from the alcohol ink markers I received in the Art Snacks unboxing. I'm going to put some circles here. And just for the heck of it. I'm not sure if they're going to come into any kind of, be of any use to any of us, but let's go. Okay, so we put a drop down, and this one is not coming. There we go. Okay, and this reminds me so much of Sumi ink marbling. I love this. And then the next bit goes out, and then I'm going to take the alcohol blending solution. Now, I am thinking that this alcohol blending solution is, and you can see how that ring just starts to, now see, I got 3 circles there, but that's fine. This is the random element that makes things really fun, in my opinion. You can start right from the beginning with the markers if you don't want that randomness, but I don't know. To me, that's, it gives it a thing that gives it a look that if you're just using, if you're not using a random element, that's fine. But to me, the random element makes it much more interesting than anything I could figure out on my own. And you can see here, there's places where it stopped. More than likely, that is from oils on your hands. So, okay. So now I'm going to be done with these for a moment, a little bit. And so I'm going to put those out of the way here. Grab this. And I have a little cheap brush too. Where is it? So let's just start with these. Now what I have here is some of the Iron Lock alcohol inks. Now these are all alcohol inks, and like they are like Copics. They're the same base, permanent alcohol dye-based inks. Now Winsor Newton has alcohol inks out now that are pigment based. I have mostly Spectrum Noir, which are really cheap in the at the AC Moore and online, and you get a package of 6 for like $8. So that's what I went with because I don't use these all that often. I'm not going to say I'm never going to get good markers, but for the moment, I don't need Spectrum Copics. Maybe someone in the comments can let us know what kind of comparison. I know their tips are better, and I will say that this tip is nice. I've been working with these two a lot, and I can recommend them. They're no cheaper. I've worked with this, which is an off-brand from, it's called Studio Series Artist Marker, and I did find these on Amazon. I actually found these at Barnes & Noble around Christmas, and that tip is mushy though. So let's just, for the heck of it, this is the colorless blender. I know you're supposed to put that up there so everybody can see what you're, no, this is the cool gray. No, it's the colorless blender. I just accidentally put the cool gray lid on it. Now I want you to see, I hope that you can see what is happening as I'm putting this blender pen down. The alcohol ink has stained the area, but the alcohol from the blender pen is pushing it away, and you'll really be able to see it here. And this is when I get really psyched about this technique. So I can just keep going with this, pushing away. And when I'm doing this, you probably already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. But you can see what's happening here. It's mushing. It's getting kind of mushy. So, but that's okay. like I said, I don't have any great aspirations for working with alcohol inks, except for that they're really fun, and I could make prints from them. You can't sell this kind of work original unless you're using the Winsor and Newton because of that dye, because they're dye-based. And dye-based inks are just not as light fast. You have to use some kind of a pigment ink if you're selling this work. So, but I could sell copies, prints of this work. I forgot to turn my phone off. How we doing? Who's here? I've not played with markers much. Yeah, I haven't really actually played with markers much either. I don't know where'd the chat box go? Oh, show chat. What happens? Oh, thank you, Jen. Thanks for tweeting. Jen tweeted the link out. Okay. Well, I'm not going to worry about it because there's not much I can do. The only thing you need to do if you're working on top, one pen on top of the other, is to wipe off the pen and just have a scrap piece of paper to do that. Just can be any kind of paper at all. I could be wiping it off here. And I think I will. Okay, so this is, I'm going to go into the Spectrum Noir brush pen here. And the Spectrum Noir has a nice tip and a chisel. And I use both of these. I kind of prefer, by the way, let me tell you what these have. They have that tip. They have a semi-fine point and the brush nib. So, okay. So I am going to work with this yellow one. A lot of these have worn off. Again, these are not like the best markers, but I'm going to just go around and go around here. And I think I'll take some over here. Let me get rid of some of that. That's back to, because it's going to pick up the color. Okay, oh, that's cool. Oh my gosh, look at that. That looks like a deep inside of a lily. So let me think. I'm going to take, and this is what I love about working like this. I wasn't thinking about a lily. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to go sweep up. I'm just going to sweep this up. A lily, a daylily, something like that. I'll go in later. I haven't tried permanent markers with this. You can't use any kind of solvent-based ink like Stays On, because that is solvent based, so that'll disappear it right away. All right. Okay, I have this fun thing where I have to wear two different kinds of glasses. One to read the comments and one to work. So it's really a blast. Okay. All right. So anyway. I think some green would work in here. I'm looking. This doesn't seem to be, there's not a whole lot of ink in this one. Let me try that down here. You can see that that pencil is dissolving too. These blender pens on this, I'm going to just put a little stem on there. The blender pens will dissolve your colored pencils, by the way. I think I want, I'm going to use this yellow. I'm pushing, once again, I'm drawing into this. It's almost like it doesn't matter what you put down first because you can push these around so easily. So I'm just going to keep pushing this around. Okay. Now this is going into a rose kind of look, but it's looking a little muddy to me. So I'm just going to kind of bookmark that. Let me find a red marker. I got a bright, this is more like a hot pink marker. Okay, so I'm going to use the chisel tip because you can see that color is a little muddy and the chisel tip will apply more ink to it. And so that's good enough. And that's a nice darker color, so that should add some more sort of bounce there. And I'm going to add some pink too. I think I'm going to stick with the chisel tips on these. And just keep going off. And this is very much like if you're painting and you don't want to muddy the colors, you need to keep wiping off your paintbrush. It's kind of a pain. It slows up your process a little bit, but it also gives, if you stop and think about it and work kind of mindfully, it's a really nice thing to slow up your process a little bit. Okay, that's getting better here. I'm liking this too. It's fun to go away from where you were. I'm going to leave that yellow around the edge, but I don't know if I wanted that there. Let's go. I tell you one thing about these, the ones I got from, oops, Barnes & Noble, these Studio Series, boy, are their caps tight. Yeah. Okay. So and, you know, I could have, I could look at some photos to help me out with these flowers. I could look and say, oh, I could put that detail in. And I do recommend that. A lot of times I will do that. But mine flowers tend to go off into the unrealistic area. So I'm liking the way that looks. It needs dots. Nothing better than some polka dots. So I'm just going to go ahead, while I'm thinking about it, slip some dots in here. This is blue, but it's almost white. Like I said, these Spectrum Noirs are not the best quality, but they work for me. And if you just want to do some techniques now and again, you know. Let's see. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Jerry, I see you. I don't see you. Oh, thank you, Barb. That's right. My subscribers get an email. My subscribers get an email. Well, thanks, Jerry. I need to get my head out of the camera, huh? Okay, so yeah, I'm switching over. Okay, maybe this will be better. All right, I need another sip of tea. I'm still drinking my Irish breakfast tea. All right. Send a reminder, and I'll probably spread some more around just because, yeah, it's a good thing to spread some more around. Here it is. So if you've got dots one place and stripes, you want to keep repeating them at least 3 times, 5 times. You can do some good, but differently. So even though there's stripes, there's some, you can probably barely see this. Yeah, you can barely see this. So I'm going to do it with, you know what, where's that iron lock? What color is this? This is orange. Let's see what that does. Now this is, so I don't know how I feel about that. And let me make sure this is indeed the permanent, yes, alcohol-based. It's standing out a little bit more. So let's get on to, let's do a little background here. So I have got this Tim Holtz, and you know what? I really don't like these square ones too much. Well, I'll just use it. And this is felt, and they come, they do come in a package, but this is really simply inexpensive felt. So you can just apply your own. I think these handles are awesome, but you can definitely apply your own felt to that to save a little money. I don't even know how much I can't remember how much they are. I've had these for ages. I got these really a long time ago and just pulled them out, these alcohol inks, I mean, and just pulled them out. Oh, when you're applying ink to the alcohol, to the dabber, you want to make sure that you've got that tip buried in there. Okay, you don't want to drop it. You want to bury that tip in there. Important information. It gets it really absorbed into it, and then it will last longer. Same thing, I'm adding some blending ink. Here I could add many colors to this. I could add 3, 4, 5 colors. And I did accidentally get some red, but I'm just going to pat that in and kind of swish around. And it does give this really wonderful mottled look here. So I'm just going to go right over those flowers because I can fix those again later. I want to avoid some edges because I really like, there's some edges that I really love on this. And those are the edges that, of course, they're the edges that happened whimsically when I dropped the alcohol ink. Now, I'm going to just add some green to this. And I think, yeah, that's lettuce. We'll see what happens. There's some. So we'll just pretend like that's. I'm going to work into this area, but you can see, I'm going to actually change. You can see how the blending fluid, blending solution lifts that alcohol ink. So I'm going to actually pull that one off and put another pad on and just use this blending solution. I keep getting red on this pad, and I see why. Because there's red on the edge of this. And it's making my blue, my green muddy, so I want to get rid of that. In fact, I'm going to just trim that right off and grab one of my mini tools because I like working with them better. Okay. I like the roundness. Now, just as just because this is the foam blending tool that comes with this, these won't work with the alcohol inks. These work with the dye-based ink pads, any dye-based ink pad. So there we go. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to pick up some of this and start to move it around and lighten it up a little bit. All right. Okay, so that's pretty good. You don't have to do this in the background, really. I think that, yeah, you don't have to do this in the background. Now I'm going to grab, I'm making a mess again. You might want to open a window while you're working with these alcohol inks if you're going to be working with them for a little while, only because they start to smell a little bit. I'm going to put this away. I have a new alcohol ink blender bottle that doesn't have a red part on it. I'm trying to figure out which way to move that so you can see it better. Okay, brush right here. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up some of that with my brush. Let's see what happens. I'm going to add some texture into the background just by kind of flicking the brush up. So once again, it's the alcohol is just chasing away the blender. The alcohol in one ink chases the alcohol away, just the way it does. And watercolor reacts the same way to alcohol, by the way. So let me get in. See, this is some brown here because I have red and green. But you know what? That's okay. Now, up here, I have these clouds. Let me wipe that off. I had these clouds kind of already started, so let's see what happens here. Push it away, and then you could even pick up. Pick this up a little bit. It's a nice texture. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'll get this thing sticking to me now. Jen's imagination has gone crazy. Yeah, Barb, these are fun to play with, and I had sort of forgotten about them. And I was kidding around last year thinking, oh, what can I do for a meetup in, like, my final meetup of the spring? And I decided to have a porch party, and I was thinking, oh, alcohol and alcohol. It was my final wine and art meetup. And I was thinking, oh, that would be fun. That would be a blast. So that's, and then I just started playing around. Actually, I'm doing, wait a minute. I'm also doing my brain is a fuzzy place sometimes. I'm doing a class up in Connecticut at Art is You in October. And I'm doing alcohol, inks, and watercolors on Yupo. I'll be doing some Yupo there too and some stamping, so that'll be fun. But yeah, it was fun because we were doing alcohol inks and drinking sangria last summer. I think that we should do that every summer. Okay, here we go. Because I'm just pushing this around at this point with the brush dipped in the alcohol. And yeah, the alcohol really dries quickly. So while it's dry to the touch, let me pick a clean finger to illustrate this on. It's dry to the touch. It is always, you're always able to reactivate it. So it's pretty fun stuff. I love reactivating things. That's why I love those distress inks so much, is they just, and watercolors, and oh, that looks nice. I'm going to take a blender pen and use the fine tip to just pull a little bit of this edge out. And if you see that, what happens, especially if there's a little bit of your oils are on this paper, it pools and it kind of goes to black, which it's okay, but I like to sort of, it's fun to kind of do that. It's called a lost and found edge. With all of this is a found edge. It's a hard edge. So you want to kind of lose some of them. Which ones is up to you. Usually the softer edge, the found edge, the lost edge, I'm sorry. The softer or lost edge is sort of where you don't want your big emphasis to be. So once again, I'm cleaning that brush pen or the alcohol marker. I got told off by somebody that alcohol markers are not Copic markers are not alcohol markers or something weird like that. So I really am trying not to do that, call them Copic markers, but if I slip up, it's only because I think of them as all the same. So I hope nobody takes offense. Okay, so I'm making another stem here, and I'm sort of making it bigger here so that it looks like the flower, trying to make it look like the flower is actually going away from me. So that's a little bigger at the bottom. The flower's going back, sort of, if you get my drift. I'm going to pick up a darker one. I'm actually going to open my window. Okay. It has been raining like crazy here. It has been it's been a long spring. I think that's too dark. And I really don't like the heat of the summer here. So I don't mind a long spring, but this is getting a little bit too much. Okay, so this is again one of those studio series. And I know I always pull this out, but I'm going to pull it out again and show you that if you put green on top of red, you're going to get brown or gray, and also known as mud. And where I don't really feel like that mud is a bad thing and I certainly love grays, to be aware is a good thing. So I have very little red here, and I might pick up some of the darker color or brown as I go along, but it's okay. So I sort of steered clear as much as I could of that. And I'm going to go in with a little darker. I can't tell which here. That's a nice green, actually. So I'm just going to put it sort of underneath just to imply some shadowy areas on that stem. And where's my sun? Over here? Okay. Just some. I'm also going to put some down here. I didn't use the. This is why I mix up my caps, because I have more than one open at a time. Oh my! I'm going to put some darker here, and I'm staying in a spot that has very little. It just has green here. I pushed most of the other color away. So another tip with these alcohol markers is that, and with really wrong, with any like colored pencils, anything, is to get some grays. The grays are great for adding dark shadows, or shadows, I should say, without having a lot of extra colors on hand. So in fact, with colored pencils, it's particularly great. They have both, Prismacolor has both warm and cool grays. And the browns are good for that too. So there we go. That's looking better. And I'm going to sneak some of this up here because the brown, the red and the green are going to make a little brown, and that is not bothersome to me. Just if you can learn to sort of control it to some degree, if you can mix grays on the side, and learn how to use them, that's really a good practice. Let's see, I'm going to read a couple comments now. Jen's imagination is going crazy. Alcohol and alcohol, yeah, it was definitely a fun night. We had a really good time. The sangria was awesome. I love sangria. When people, Barb says, howtogetcreative.com. When people call you out, you can't take it personally. It's hard not to, for sure. Yeah, she says, yeah, I totally agree. In fact, just yesterday, I've been kind of going back and forth with I just had my birthday. And if you didn't hear, I turned 60, and I'm super excited about it for some reason. And I've been sort of thinking, what is my mantra going to be this year? And my mantra, you can tell I'm from Philadelphia, my mantra is going to be my people are precious to me. And that makes it really easy, I think it will, to the people who don't treat me well are away. They're somewhere else. I'm going to really try to put them at arm's length. And the people who are precious to me, I'm going to treat like gold. And that is my my mantra to take me through to 61. Okay, Jen, can you use any type of paper to rub off ink, or is it Yupo? You can use any kind of paper. In fact, you really can use any kind of paper for alcohol inks. It's just that it gives you I have gone to using Yupo because it is just so wonderful. I just love it so much. So that's the short answer there. And I want to get some more darks in here. So let's see, I've got yellow. So, and I've got an orangey green. I mean, an orangey yellow. So here, Jen, here's a quote. Yeah, I only have time for those that wish me well. Yeah. And happy birthday, Jerry. I'm totally fine with being 60. I am maybe thick skin. I'm reading that, thick skin. I don't I'm going to say this right now because no, I don't have thick skin, and I absolutely refuse to have thick skin. I'd rather keep those people at arm's length and continue to be a sensitive individual who cares and does not develop any kind of insensitivity. Go ahead. I'd rather be hurt by someone than to, I can't pretend to not be. I am. All I'm going to do, and I've done this for years, is arm's length. That's all I have to say about that. But I understand what you're saying about the thick skin, and I get it. I think a lot of people have learned to do that. I just kind of feel, I tried it. It didn't work for me, I guess is all I'm going to say about that. It just doesn't work for me. I can't. All I have to do is not have a thick skin, but understand that whatever the other person, if the other person is, and is somebody is very dear to me, is having a problem and maybe not treating me too great right now, I have to understand that that's coming from them. That is about them and not about me. I don't think people treating you badly is ever about you, really. I think mostly it's about a problem that they might be having. So that's my mantra. That's what I'm going for, which fits in really nicely with my, see, I'm just rubbing this off on my newsprint that's on my desk. My other mantra for this year was be kind and be useful. So yeah, that's where I am. Now, I've gotten this far. There's still a lot of definition to do here. I could work on this for a couple hours, really. I'm going to go back in here with this. Now, I have a decision to make, too, here, right here. Does this flower is going to go behind. I just made my decision. It's going to go behind this rose type flower. And this extra stuff is, okay, wipe off my pen because you could see it picking up some brown there. So just keep wiping that puppy off. Could I use blender pen for this? Probably. Do I care that that's green and it's supposed to be orange? If you know me, you know I don't care at all. It's just an opportunity to put that green somewhere else. Or, yeah, look. Okay. And, yeah, just keep going around. Go over it. So now I'm blending out these hard edges, or the found edges, because I don't want a whole lot of emphasis there. Now I'm going to look at this composition in a second. You guys like this kind of like really arty talk, or would you rather not hear it? I'm always curious. Let me read the comments again. I expect responses to the Barb. Yes. Barb, in response to our thick skin comments, is she thinks that thick skin means you let the crap bounce off. And also says our talk is great. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Jerry's enjoying what I have to say. There you go. It's nice to hear. When I can stay on track, and this, oh, I like this. I like that burst, and I like that it's going behind. Oh, it's 108. Darn it, I wish I hadn't gotten all messed up at the beginning because it's running into my time now. Let me see. How about a gray? This is Spectrum Noir. Now that is, oh, for heaven's sake, I did it. Here's that blender pen. And I messed up. So that's the blender pen. Okay. Best to not take two. No, this is the blender pen. And you can see it's pink, but I think it's just stained. It's just stained pink. And then this is the cool gray, but I'm going to look for a darker gray. Oh, no blood. Okay, I'm going to look for a darker gray. Here we go. Spectrum Noir has a bunch of dark grays. There's also a black and a brown. I might go into some of these neutral colors here. Let me think here. So this is becoming my main focus here, this flower. And this needs a lot of work to define that. And that color is muddy, which I'm not too nuts about. I'm going to go in here and try to get some of that back. I'm also going to pull this. So you can see how you could work on this for a long time. I'm going to probably take this to a certain point. I'm going to try to resolve some of these things. But you can see, I hope that you can see from this that there wasn't any great skill required to doing this piece here. It was dropping, and then it was pretending and imagining and drawing some circles, and you can almost see how the circles are, I'm losing the circles at this point. And but at this point I need to start to resolve a little bit. I think I'm going to go in there and just lighten that a little bit. So it looks like the edge, there's an edge there that's lit. I'm not interfering with that hard found edge of the flower. I think there I could put some yellow. I've been really, I haven't used those new markers at all. See there, the pencil is just dissolving. I've been putting yellow around my flowers because I like to think of them as lighting, shining, I guess. Yeah. If you work with a thing for long enough, eventually you start to really get lost in it. Okay, so I'm going to have to go over this a couple times to really get that yellow in there. And I love these hard edges on this. I think I've said that. Okay. What does Yupo paper feel like? Yupo paper feels like very smooth surface, not quite slick, but smooth. Like I'm looking at this cup. It's not as slick as this cup, but it's smooth. Okay. No, there is no roughness to it at all. Okay, now I have to put my other glasses on again. I'll come down and visit you someday. Where are you, Jerry? I live down 309. I'm having some health struggles. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, hey, Virginia Pearl. How are you? I didn't see you sneak in. It's more like, it's not, again, it's not as slick as photo paper. It feels very much like this matte. If you've used any of these Ranger papers, it feels very matte like that. And I will tell you that the photo paper and the Ranger specialty papers, the paint does not move on it, or the inks do not move on it. And let me show you an example of that. I must have spilled my tea at some point. Okay, here's the photo paper. Now, so I think that is the Ranger Glossy. So let's take a look at this. Now you can see it really looks nice, and there are some definite benefits of working with the Yupo or with the alcohol inks on, finally, this paper, and that is that it does not push away the ink. Instead, it layers. So it's really nice. Excuse me, I needed some tea. It's really great if you want to layer. So I'm going to put this yellow iron lock on top, and you can still see it did not push. So this is a great way to work. I really liked this. I was playing with it the other day. And I mean, I have played with it before too, and it's great. Let's do, just for fun, let's do a little bit of lettuce. Oh, good. Let's just say that's already green, so I can use green on this. So a little lettuce and a little, I don't know what this is. It looks kind of like, what's that China one? I like that color, whatever color that is. And I'm burying that tip in there, so it really gets absorbed in there. And I mean, this is beautiful effect. I'm putting some of the blending fluid in here now too. But it is, if you pounce it up and down, you're going to get like a texture. And you can still, I'm still getting it to move a little bit with that blending fluid, but you're really not going to get any kind of real movement, which is could be a good thing. It just depends on how you want to work today. So I would try everything out. The glossy photo paper, if you have a lot of that, which I do, I have a ton of that, works a lot the same way. Let me see. I have so much of that because I don't really use it. Here's this. Oh, here's this, the silver. Let's try that. This was the silver specialty stamping paper. I probably don't have enough on here. Let's use something very exciting. Oh, not with that. It's warm colors. There's warm colors on this, so I can use that. Okay, how about some blue with that? Maybe we'll get some purples. We should get some purples. A drop of the blending solution on here too. Oh, hey gang, do me a favor. I forget to remind you of this, but if you could just pop over to the left of the chat box there, and if you like what you're seeing, of course, and give me a thumbs up. Yeah, that's important. Ooh, that looks neat. Now this would look really neat as a die cut. Oh, that looks really neat. So you're getting, I don't know how, let me see if I can see. Jerry. I don't know how much of a glare there is, and there's a delay, of course. So, but this is really cool looking. I don't have any of my lights on here. I had so much trouble getting started here today, but it's really kind of neat. So I'll definitely play with this. Specialty papers, and of course the alcohol ink, the alcohol markers work fine on regular paper. They're really nice to blend with. I use them in a couple of my coloring books, but make sure you have some waste paper tucked behind the page you're working on, because they will bleed right through. I meant to bring it up, but I bring it up to the studio, but I forgot. So sorry, but yeah. So you can see the big difference between how much this moves, and it's really a question of how much you like that. So I'm just going to kind of, I'm losing that edge. And that is, I'm going to make this a little one of those paisley flowers. Now, once again, am I going to put this behind, or I'm going to, decisions. I'm going to do an overlap there. Don't be afraid to do an overlap. Overlaps make things really look. Cool. Let's go behind. So there's some more cases here. And I'm seeing that since things are starting to dry a little bit more, it's a little harder to move them. So that's kind of nice. I'm just going to make this like it's behind. Okay, good enough. Okay, good enough. Okay. Let's go back to, I think this iron lock is really, really potent. They're from Australia, so they're no great deal, that's for sure. They're expensive, and if you really love alcohol markers and want to collect them, I don't know how many colors they have, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind collecting them. I'm not going to do it right now because there's just too many things that are a higher priority for me. But at some point in my life, I would love to collect some really high quality Copic markers. They're great for illustration. And I'm pretty sure maybe somebody can tell me. Yeah, photo. Where did I get the Yupo paper? Actually, seen it in. I get my Yupo paper at an art supply store or Dick Blick, and I'm pretty sure I supplied links under the description. Tim Holtz just put out Yupo paper in card maker sizes. I just saw it probably at Simon. And it's just Yupo paper resized, so it's the same stuff. He's just, retailing it at a smaller size for card makers, I guess. It's been around for years. I've done a lot of watercolor on Yupo. In fact, if you get my newsletter, the flower that's usually the daisies that are white or watercolor on Yupo. It's just tricky to use because you have to, it's a fragile surface and you have to frame it. Now that is misshapen. What will we do? Okay, let me just fix that. Definitely funny shape. Okay, there we go. Okay. Better, just a little. But so you can see. I mean, was this brain surgery, guys? I love my spectrums. Yeah, I love that you can doodle with the spectrum markers on top of the background. Yeah. Yes, Virginia, you should be able to get Yupo no problem at Jerry's. We happen to have a Blick in town here, but my small local independent art supply store sells Yupo too. It's really, it's been around, like I said, it's been around for years, for a real long time. So I'm starting to resolve this flower. This flower is still unresolved, and I think what it might need is to be lifted some lights out of it, and then some really solid. Now, when I was doing my, oh my gosh, we had so much fun. When I was doing my glue this to that or whatever it was, card making scraps video, everybody was recommending what I should do. So if you guys would like to pitch in and tell me what color you'd like to see me use on this bottom flower, feel free. I will probably do it, unless I think it's a really bad idea. Now, so I'm just trying to pick up. Oh, Rita said she's seen Yupo paper at Joann's. Regular size, Rita? Or the Tim Holtz version? I tend to think that the I have not priced this out. Check the prices. It's a decision you make based on the size of paper you want. I am losing all those hard edges here, I see. But I like this. What should I do here? the smaller version. Rita says she's seen the smaller version of Yupo at Joanne. So I'm thinking this is looking good. I feel like doing some red. I see nobody's popping in. Oh yeah, in the store. Rita says she's seen it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to go, I started with that yellow and I went around, and now I'm going to go with red around to sort of emphasize that flower edge, that edge there. Now, is this the blender? I keep getting my glasses mixed up. Yeah. So let me go through here and just lighten around this. You can see the muddiness I'm picking up. And I'm just going to spread this out and lose a little of that pattern there. I'm going to calm this area down because I'm not one for busy everywhere. I like to pick and choose what my busiest spot's going to be. So I'm just calming that area down a little bit. Okay, and leaving this. I'm not crazy about that hard edge in the sky either. I think it's a little distracting. So once again, cleaning that brush off. And it's stained, okay? It is stained, but it's okay. I'm going to just calm this down up here. Just put in a couple lines to indicate maybe a cloud. It's gray here today. All right. Wait a minute. Here. I'm thinking picking up a little bit more of this. So this is a really fun way to work because it's working positively in that you're putting ink down, but you're also working negatively because you're picking ink up and pushing it away. Now, so you just, I'm going to put real light here. So it just means I'm going to add a lot more ink to get that area. And then I'm going to add some red. I can't stop. I should be stopping, but I can't now. Okay, I think I'll put right here in that same sort of striped way. But I'm going to just, I'm going to go through that edge in some places. I'm going to break that hard edge up in some places. And that's starting to emerge. So I'm going to leave some of this hard edge, but I'm going to break through in other areas. Okay. Now, I want some yellow, and this iron lock really gave me some good yellow. So I'm going to make sure that's clean. Yeah, and that's a really nice pen. That's probably on the same level as the Copic and some of the other better pens around. Yeah, that's nice. So it's like using a really nice pen like this will, you begin to see why people love their Copics This is really nice. And it's the first really nice alcohol marker I've ever had. So I'm learning. Loving the way that looks. It's so kind of watery right here. Okay. So I want another bright color because I have mud. And that's another tip. If you have a muddy area, where's that Prismacolor? Here it is. And this is my orange. Let's see how this behaves itself. Now this is not Prismacolor. This is Le Plume. They have regular markers out, dye-based markers that I had years ago. And they're dual brush like the Tombos. So I haven't used them in years because this really was 40 years ago. They didn't last really long, but I was not used to those kind of markers, so I'm not sure now looking back if they actually lasted as long as they were supposed to, and it was just my lack of understanding of dye ink markers. But anyway, yeah, I like that. I'm feeling like this could definitely use some more, but that I really, if you're still here, I'll keep going. Actually, I'm going to pick up some areas of this. It's still a little bit more brown than I'd like. But that was probably from the initial dripping of the, I'm not sure I like that. Okay. The initial dripping of the alcohol ink. Now this flower here does not have a stem. And I think it needs to have one. I think it deserves to have one, rather than look like a flying saucer here. So, of course, where will it go? It will go here. Okay. And you can see how that turned brown. Also that it's just, oh, yummy leaching, like kind of thing going on there. Okay, so now just another layer of that. And keep that quiet. It doesn't look like it's going in the right place there, does it? So you have to goof around with these things sometimes. And I feel like this could use a leaf. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, and this is going to be, make sure it's clean, doesn't have any red in it. Make it a quiet leaf, right? Nice and quiet. All right, I think that is resolved enough for the moment. Here. Like this, I should have made this more of a bending, like it's bending, but I can fix that. Just go like that. So this is a great way to learn how to clean things up too. It's very forgiving. I did not like that where I put that. So let's just put that there with the blue. And Look at that. It's just these edges are the killer, and it's because I love watercolor so much that I love these edges so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some more here. Fill in some of this negative space. But you don't need to be perfect because I think it gives it a little bit of interest. Just going whatever way I feel like going. Now, I originally said a while ago that I wanted to quiet this area down, and I am livening it up, but I reserve the right to make changes. So let's see, is anybody still watching? I'm just going to finish this off, and then I'm going to stop. Okay. Push this up here. Okay. And then okay. Okay. I think that's good. I think that's enough. I mean, I definitely will probably want to fine tune some of these areas, but it's not going to happen probably for a while. So I did want to tell you that those of you working while listening have to leave before 2. Yeah, I'm yeah, I was hoping to catch you folks who are working on your lunch hours, or if you're on the East Coast or something like that, but I'm pretty happy with this. And I feel like I could definitely pick up some more lights and darks here, and I probably will. It's probably not going to happen today, but I will put that up on my blog. I do want to tell you that I keep all my markers in these prism cases. I keep the warms in one case and the cools in another. So that's the warm set. There's another one. I'll just go into the, I don't worry about brand with markers, at least not right now, because, uh-oh, what happened to that lid? Oh, there it is. And when I say I keep all of them, I try to keep all the warms and cools together. Anyway, I do want to show you this before I go, because this is the Winsor new brand of, they just came out with this, maybe it's been a year, and I only have a black one and a white one. So I actually probably will use the black one. They have a chisel and a very fine tip, which is nice. It took me forever to figure out. I had to finally email them, and they still were not telling me whether it was alcohol or not. They just kept telling me it's pigment. Well, it is alcohol based. I don't know why they were, but it kind of, the white is, there's not usually a white, but because these are pigment, they were able to make a white. So if I were to get a set of Winsor & Newton or of alcohol inks, I don't know if I get Winsor & Newton. I mean, only because I think that if I did alcohol ink work, I would probably make prints. But you can see that white is going right over. Now that's on the photo paper, so it won't blend. But let me try it in here, in this area. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's definitely a step up. And Winsor & Newton makes a great product. So I just did want to leave you with that, and make sure there's no more questions. I'm super sorry once again that I messed up. Aw, you're so nice to say I'm brave. Oh, while working with markers. You know, I did think about it this morning, but the laundry pile is kind of high today. So anyway, but thanks so much for joining me for this. And if you haven't subscribed or given me a thumbs up, please do that. Yeah, Virginia, laughing at your, you'd have the marker all over yourself. Let's hope I don't, because this is, you know, markers are neat, really. One of the reasons I'm beginning to see the beauty of them. But anyway, pop around to my blog. Thank you again so much for hanging in here with me. Oh, I want to see if I can. I hope you can see me. I'm trying to get. I'm tired. I took time off last week, and I'm still really tired. I think from this crazy winter of mine. Okay, so I need to come down a little bit on my face here, but yeah, thanks a million for visiting and hanging in with me while I got things straightened out. And maybe a little bit more. That was perfect. I'm looking, monitoring myself there. Anyway, I'm going to probably be putting this on my blog tomorrow with some of the photos from this, and then I'm taking the rest of the week off and trying to get back on my feet again. But thanks a million for coming, folks. It's just been really nice. I really wish I could get the kinks worked out, but I think I'm getting there, and then something comes up. So I really appreciate your sticking in there with me, and your funny and remarks and your kindness to me. So I will see you very soon. Talk to you soon. Bye now. Your funny and remarks and your kindness to me. So I will see you very soon. Talk to you soon. Bye now. You're funny